I see everybody's wanting to know, how do you make sure that you can receive gifts? So let me take a picture of this and let me hover over this. And you'll see little dots. And if you click on that, it'll do something. Okay. So let me make sure our Word document needs to go to something else. Properties, we go there. And we need to allow a camera. Yep. So you see that I just gave away a gift of a subscription. So if you hover over your mouse over those little boxes over here in the corner, if you haven't already allowed YouTube to give you a subscription, there'll be an option that will pop up when you hover over those little dots right there, and it will tell you, do you want to accept gifts or not? So hover over those little boxes right there and make sure that you have the approval clicked to accept gifts. That's all. And then as I give away gifts and toss money at YouTube, it will definitely put you in on the running for a free subscription. How's everybody doing? Can you guys hear and see me? And Samantha was the one that won it. Huh, that's funny. So you did already have it on there. Now you got a star. That's funny. I didn't pick you. The YouTube picks the winners, so I have no control over who it picks. But I do find that people that comment the most usually end up winning. What's going on? What's your question about 2024? No, the exam has not changed. It's still the same exam as it always has been. Yay, thank you for letting me know. Awesome. I got 34 of you on today. Yay. All right, awesome. Let me get back over here to our Word document for today. And I just wanted to remind y'all, I saw this from one of my last year's lives lessons that I did, and I just wanted to remind you that every single little header numbers are for a different set of diagnoses. So it's kind of, they're not all willy-nilly all over the place. They are sort of organized by differences in those headers, even in the diagnoses. So you wouldn't be in the I-30s if you were only dealing with hypertensive diseases. Those are over here in the I-10s. So really looking at those headers before descriptors, even in an ICD-10 book, can be super helpful. So just wanted to show that off. And let me read up on chat and see what you got going on. Why isn't vaccines and endo in the book? I don't know what she's talking about. Well, when I show you how to turn a 2023 book into a 2024 book, I write the codes where they're supposed to be, and I find plenty of space to do that. And I give you a picture of exactly how I did that. So other than that, you can come up with your own creative ways of doing it, whatever you want to do. Hey, Patrice, how are you doing? It looks like it's another company that's wanting to do certifications in billing and coding. Let's look at Indeed and see if there's any job openings for that. I found 4 job openings for that. Looks like it's outpatient hospital coding. One company in Florida has put it down, and they have 4 openings, but they also hire for CCS, CPC, CCA, and COC, and RHIT. So they've just included all of them in their job description is what they're looking for. But that's the only company that has included that company or that certification. So, you know, be careful and do your diligence. Look through all the different job openings for a particular area before you
Teresa Kelly has become a member.
Out one of those coding companies that you want to spend money on and send them money, you know, to get their certification. Make sure there's actually some job openings for that, you know. Let's see. Those are good ones that I posted in there that people are usually looking for, are the CCS, the CPCs, and the COCs. And then just do an Indeed search and see if anybody's hiring for that. This one is called the Moffitt Center of Cancer. Yay, I'm so glad y'all are here. If a patient is seen in the hospital, could bill a new patient or you saw the patient in the hospital. Right, that would be an established patient. If you already saw them in the hospital, even if it's an ER visit and then they come to your office, they are an established patient with you already. Thank you, Kelly. Hey, Rosa. Hey, Go-Kart. Hey, JJ. Hey, Samantha. 2022 CPT books and 2024 books not labeling the same. Possibly. Hey, Teresa. Hey, Makeup. Good to see you. Hey, Twinkle. Twinkle, what are you doing here? Is CRC increasing in popularity? I attended an AAPC chapter member meeting, and one of the offers mentioned that CRC is increasing in popularity. Let's look and see what Indeed says. CRC risk. We have how many job openings? 85 jobs right now in CRC. If I put CPC, I get 732 jobs. If I put CCS, I get 1,000 jobs. If I put CPMA, I get 55 jobs. CRC, without the word risk, because it looks like if you really have to be careful, because CRC can mean something else in another job position. Staff clinical scientist, you can get some weird things, so you have to put medical coding or risk adjustment with it, because that way you get the right ones. That gives you the 85 jobs. But I think there's more than that. If you put CRC, HCC, I wonder, yeah. Work from home, Sutter Health, Sunnyvale, California, $38.74 an hour. They need a risk adjuster, HCC. Just plain HCC, which is the same thing as CRC, get 123 jobs. And they all seem to be pulling up the right particular jobs. You do just HCC. Yep. Medical education. Smith and Nephew. Oh, my mom used to work there. That's so nice. Aw. Clinical health. Episource. Yeah. I believe so. I know that risk adjustment was where my HEDIS auditing for commercial patients has one staff employee, which is me. But my risk adjustment in my medical group company has 4 full-time risk adjusters with 2 clinical staff that are case managers that go along with those risk adjusters. So the departments are growing in popularity where I work in Cali, and they are hiring more staff for that than they are for my position, but most of the people that do my position don't do it solo. So I'm a bit of an anomaly there, but if they're truly into the AMP program or any HEDIS measures, then they're going to want a medical auditor. If I put in HEDIS for quality improvement specialist, you get in 100 jobs. For HEDIS abstract coder, yep. HEDIS data analyst, that's what I do. Awesome. There is a HEDIS clinical quality auditor RN position. Yep. That will pay very well. That's in New York City. Yep. And that can be $50 to $60 an hour if you have even if you did like LVN remotely from home and just went in for your clinical examinations. Like if you got your LPN remotely after you did your clinical coding certification, you guys could really triple your income even if you never wanted to see patients and treat patients and you don't like dealing with urine and stuff. If you could pass just your clinicals where you go in with an instructor and you show them you know how to do a cath and you can set an IV, very basic things. One time and you pass your LPN, and then you never have to touch another patient again, and you keep medical coding and risking, dude, y'all can end up in the six figures really fast too. So just saying, if you can manage to do it once, then you'll be all right. Some of the clinicals are dummies that you don't even have a real patient. You have a plastic arm. You just show that you know how to do it. So some of it isn't even real patients. But just saying, you can do most of LPN remotely as far as school goes. And then you go in with these like big convention center rooms that are set up with little cubicles, and you get signed off on each skill, and then that's it. But let me get back to our Word document for tonight. Good. Get our camera off and continue on with our stuff. This is just something I threw together super fast. These are modifiers, and we're just going to play the matching game. So you guys tell me where they should go. CCA, I don't see a lot of people hiring for CCA. And if you do get the CCA, I think you really need to back it up with another certificate. I think you need to have like a CRC or a CCS or anything. Even if you just got an E&M certification or something. CCA. Yeah, I get the grant stuff. So let me CCA coder. CCA. $8,000 sign-on bonus. Texas Health Resources, remote position. Careful about some of those $8,000 sign-on bonuses. You get like $1,000 for the hire date, and then you'll get $8,000 spread over like a 3-year time, some more money in 90 days, and then the rest annually for the next so many years. So they spread it out. But this one says CCA in it. But they prefer you have an associate's degree with it. Have y'all figured out where these go yet? All right, Patrice says 22 goes to increased procedurals. Awesome. Put that one right there. What about multiple outpatients, unrelated, separate, anesthesia, and preventative medicine? Any other numbers? I work for a cancer center, but I am looking for a billing job so I can get closer to coding. Awesome. Can you get a job without the certification? Not that I know of, unless you know somebody in the departments and they like you and want to hire you and train you on the job. People have grandfathered in, but it's unlikely for you to go into a new business and apply for a job and get hired as a coder without the certification. But you don't need a course to pass your certification. All you got to do is pass one test to get your certified. And I can teach you from the exam point of view how to pass the exam for sure. Thank you, Go Card, about the thumbs up. How long have we need scheduled for exam? You can schedule an exam probably for tomorrow if you wanted to with aapc. On ahima, for CCS and CCA, they schedule the exams 90 days apart, depending on whether you pass or fail. If you pass one, then great. But if you fail it, then they'll make you wait like 90 days before you can take your next one. AAPC has openings every day. It doesn't matter however many times you want to take it. HCC is the same thing as CRC certification. It's all risk adjustment. It means that you are taking your population of patients that are assigned to you, and you're assigning them a number by how sick they are. The sicker they are, the higher the number they are. So you can sort your population, find your sickest patients, and get them resources to prevent them from getting into the ER a bunch. Thank y'all for the thumbs up. How many do we have? I got 14 thumbs up, and now we got 48 people on. How many people know which one of the modifiers is for preventative medicine? 33. I can pull it around here. There we go. Ooh, ooh, there we go. Ooh. I'm trying. There we go. What about multiple hospital outpatients, E&M? Unrelated and separate E&Ms. Hey, Norma. My dad's dad was named Norman, and I miss him terribly. I had a dream about him, not last night, but the night before. He was a traveling tractor truck salesman, so he sold White Farm Equipment tractors most of his adult life, and he would travel around to farms to farm and help out farmers. And every time he'd come home, he'd bring a little stuffed monkey back for me. So I've got this huge collection of stuffed monkeys from Papa Norman. Good. Are multiple hospital E&M patients is 27. And unrelated E&M service, unrelated, not 14, but it's probably just a typo, 24, yeah, perfect. And then our separate identifiable, yep, is our 25. Of the same MD and the same day. And then 47 is our anesthesia that's done by the surgeon, not by the anesthesiologist. We don't talk about that one very much. What does this one mean? Anybody know what the prefix for this means? Keep chatting. I'm going to give away some subscriptions soon. And usually the people that talk the most end up winning. You'll get access to all the extra content on my YouTube channel, including the podcast, the old workshops, if the workshops are older than 90 days, and the old duck classes. Those duck classes have hard, more confusing exam questions. Some of those tricky ones that you're liable to get wrong no matter what. So I hope these gifts of these subscriptions help you guys out. We got Kristen, Pearlie, Erica, Stacy, and Sophia. I hope those things help out. So we've already given away 6 of those today. Good job. Vessels. Don't forget, you need to know what is inside each part of Medicare. Be sure and write a list of what's inside Medicare Part A, B, C, and D in your CPT book. You're in that book more than you are anywhere else. And sometimes anxiety or stress when you're in the middle of taking an exam, you may know these by heart, but recall is hard when you're under stress. And just being online, remote, and the whole setup of trying to get the proctor to allow your exam to happen. And then by the time you hit start and you start doing the exam, you've already been through like childbirth to get this exam started. So brain fog will set in with question number 1. So anything that you know and don't know, write in your book, know where to find it so that you don't have to second guess yourself. You can go verify you know what the answer is, and then you can move on to your next question. Super helpful. Even things that I know, been in auditing 20 years, I still wrote out what each definition was for every type of audit. I wrote them all out just so that when I took that exam, in case I'd had a day and I didn't even know what my date of birth was, I had it written down for me. This is part C. It's part C. What describes the harvesting and preparation of a healthy donor bone marrow for IV infusion to restore normal marrow function in the recipient with an inherited or acquired marrow deficiency or defect? Auto, allo, hetero, auto. We've got 2 with auto at the beginning. If you're looking for similarities. And remember, when you're practicing for the certification my recommendation is to turn off the sound and bring up my old workshops where there's like 75 practice questions. Even if you only have time to do a couple, before work and then a couple after work, just bring up and hit play on those videos. Stop it as soon as a practice question comes up. Set a timer on your desk for a little bit less than 120 seconds. Give yourself 110 seconds and then try to go find all the codes that you need and answer that question. When the timer goes off, just pick an answer and then release the video and see if you got it right. Just remember that during the exam, you won't have me reading out the key terms of what's important out of these questions. So having me do it and you hearing it is a bit of a hindrance for when you get down to the real exam and you're doing it all by yourself. You won't have me there telling you what the key points are in the questions. So practice some of this without any audio too. So that's super helpful. What do you guys think is the answer for this one? That's all right, Kelly. So you hover over the gifts in the chat. See those little boxes on the side? That's what you hover over. And those 3 dots. Click the 3 dots. If you have not already clicked the option to accept gifts, it'll show up then. If it doesn't show up when you click those 3 dots, then you've already have what you need done in your YouTube channel to accept gifts. Any of those little gift boxes. sorry, talking to the people that are picking up my boys. They're at a basketball game. I just quit going to Travis's basketball games. He's got one more this Friday, and that's the end of the season, so I'm going to attend that one. But today's the second to last one. Good, then you've already got the thing clicked to say that you will accept free gifts. So no worries. That's perfect. If it's that option is not there, then you've already clicked it, or your account was set up at a time where you already accepted it for some reason during the setup process. So no worries. You've got it. Plus you already are subscribed. So you're good. You've already got access to all of them. I'm worried about not having the AAPC versions of the book. Don't worry. You're gonna be good. Yep, I'll get y'all some pictures of Friday's game. Auto means this comes, from your own body. Allo, the two sticks, then that means somebody's walking over somebody else's body parts to you. Super helpful. Everybody get B? On this one? No? No one? It says donor, bone marrow. The donor bone marrow is always the one with the sticks. Somebody walking over somebody else's body part to you. That's how I keep it straight. What about this one? Blank are universal recipients who can give blood from any donor, who can receive blood from any donor, but can donate only to individuals with their blood type. Sorry, I read that all wrong. Are universal recipients who can receive blood from any donor, but can donate only to someone in their own blood type. I like that tip too. Two sticks look like legs. I have to visualize. I can't memorize data just because it's data. I have to come up with a way to visualize what it is. Yeah. So that's how I remember that one. Which one is our rarest blood type, right? That'll help you eliminate some of this. What's our rarest? Look for similarities. O is pretty universal. We know we can get rid of that. Then we've got two that are almost alike, right? That are super close together. The only difference is whether it's plus or negative. So you know it's probably going to be A or B. Then it's just a 50-50 shot if you have no idea. It's A. I've not seen that question on a CPC exam, but it might be on a COC. All right, nervous system today. Remember, if you're reading the question, you're doing it wrong. You need to look at these numbers first. Look for similarities in the numbers, and then pick two answers that are the closest or most similar. These two are just 10 away from each other. This one's 11 away. So I'd start out with code A and B. Go see what those headers are. Make sure I'm in the right area. I gotta check on the door, see if that was a cat wanting in. Come on, Lester. Come on. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah. Good boy. Yeah, come on. Yeah, let's go lay down. All right. Let's go look up these 6,000s. I got lots from the 6,000s, 4,000s today. Some ICD-10, some more anatomy. 696. The workshop was super fun. I didn't have time to do screenshots like I did the other day for the workshop of each one of these codes and post them up on the thing, but that was really cool. If I could do that all the time, I'll try to do it more. So this one is under repair, and this one is the T word. The 20 is a my ring. 31 is a T1 since it's super close anyway. 76 is a T2. What did we do today? We did a graph. Which one of the codes has graphs in them? 10 has a patch. 20 does it have a graph? We did a tissue graft harvest from the Yep, donor. That one has a graft. 31. I don't see a graph. And 76. Does it have a graph? No. The only one that has a graft in it is actually which one? Yep, it's B. Even though the surgery, the my ring, doesn't show up in this question at all. So the easier one was to look up to see which code actually had the graph in it. And only one of them did. It's a little low. There you go. If you guys missed out on Sunday's workshop, I did post it up in the shop if you still want to watch the replay. If you've already purchased it, the same link that you used to watch it that day is the same link to replay it for the next 89 days or whatever. So good to go on that. Don't have to purchase it twice. We've got 3 of them in the 80s. So let's go check out those codes first. 669. 669. 82. 84. 85, and our 40. Six 940 is under the header of removal, where everything else is under a lens procedure. What did we do today? Did a lens insertion. So you know you're not doing just the removal. All of these do include the lens insertion. We also did a cataract extraction. Oh goodness, the guidelines are $40, and then the turning the 2023 ICD-10 into a 2024 ICD-10 is only $15. Bless your heart. I can send you, or Twinkle can send you the ICD-10 notes for you. Just need to message me on the website where you bought them. So if you bought them on Etsy, yeah, just message me on Etsy. If you have, I just probably haven't gotten it to the message yet today. But I will get to it. Yes, A is your correct answer. Everybody got that one. Good job. What do you guys think about this one? Looking for just similarities in these numbers, I'd stick with this one and this one. These two are the closest. The 43 is kind of close, but still, these two are the closest. 4, 4, 4, 4, 1. 140. 140 is under what header? We're under intestines, except the rectum, excisions. What did we do today? We did a partial. I think we're under the right thing. Our 44140 says the word partial in it. Our 41 is its child, so it includes whatever mama is, so it's also a partial with this word in it. And then our 43 has this with another procedure with it. So what do you guys think? Yeah, and if it's a difference between 2 CPT codes and 1 CPT code, and your 2 favorite answers because they're super close to each other, always pick the answer with the 1 code. Even if you don't know much about what's going on in these CPT codes, it's better off picking the 1 code versus 2. They're always trying to push you to make you think that you need to build 2 codes, but you don't. Perfect. What about this one? This one's going to have a couple of pages to go along with it, but let's look at our numbers first. I like the 3-5 and the 3-6 just simply because they're closest. So I'm going to go to those codes. 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 3, 5. What header are we under? We're under E, G. D? EGD? Did we do an EGD? E, G, D. Good. Anything after 43260 is not an EGD. Are differences between the EGDs? $35 is a brush. 36 is an injection. 39 is a biopsy. And we have the biopsies there. So without moving along, I mean, there is 4 pages to this. But I would just pick D and move on with my day. What do you guys think the answer is? What do you guys think? Everybody gets ads. That's what YouTube likes to do. I'm sorry, guys. But YouTube loves to force you guys into buying some sort of YouTube Unlimited without advertisements or something, and it's super expensive. I don't know what it is, but I wouldn't even pay it. But yeah, that's YouTube for you. Sorry about that. This one is D. Perfect. All right. Don't forget about, and don't stress, don't worry about these last codes back here yet. Start up here at the top. We've got 2 with the same answer, D and A. Let's go look at that code and see what's going on there. See if that's what we're doing. 6522. 6522. 65220 is a child code. You can't do anything with it. You got to go look at Mama. Mama is the 65205 code. It's under removal. We're under the header of eyeball and we're under removal. Is that what we did to this kiddo today? This one's going to be 2. Pages. Did we remove a foreign body from the cornea? If that's what we did, does say remove from her cornea. But the fact that they use that lamp right there does upgrade our code to the 222, because this one has the lamp in it. This one's no lamp. That's it. So we know our code is C. The 71 is the only one that's kind of far away, but the rest of them are all super close. I'd start out with the 65778. 6577. All right, we're under the header of other procedures. Under the header of anterior segment of the eyeball. Are we anterior? Five, 7, 7. Lester, be nice. Seven, 8. And 7, 9 are mother and child. One of them has no sutures, the other one has single layered sutures. So it's just looking for your differences in whether you made any stitches or not. And we do have sutures were used. So that's the only word you really needed to look for here, was whether we did stitches or not, and we did. Do you know anything about sleep apnea? 95806. 95806. It's unattended. And all they're doing is recording the heart rate, oxygen sats, airflow, and respiratory effort. You can't use it, that code 95806, with codes like 93s and other 95 codes. If you want an analysis, with an unattended sleep study, then you need to use 95800. And that's just of the analysis of the respiratory. And then if you want to do an unattended sleep study with just the minimum heart rate, not the continuous heart rate, with the respiratory analysis, then it's the 95801. But all the parentheticals right underneath it tell you what it does or doesn't include, and if you have different variations, where to go. Anything else you want to know about it in particular? Let me see. We have high denials. Let me check my work encoder while you guys are working on this one. Did we do this one yet or not? This was the sutures. Yeah, so we know this one was A because we had to increase it for the sutures. All right, while you guys work on this one, first figure out whether you are a 60 or a 61. Then move on to your diagnoses. Do you have one diagnosis or do you have two diagnoses? Let me see what my work encoder thing might say about this. Ooh, we got 52 of you guys on. Gotta log on. Why are you not working? I'm here. I'm just trying to answer someone's question. See if I can't find something else about that particular code. Yeah, I can't get into encoder right now. It's just not working for me, unfortunately. It's bad timing. All these nighttime stuff. They're always re-updating crap in the middle of the night. but let me make a note about it. That is Yasmin needing to know about more info on the 95806 about y'all's sleep studies and why they're getting denied. I can bring up a full list of the diagnoses that can work with it, but what I wonder what coverage, who's your payer, and what region are you in too, because that matters, regions. So 6966 6966 again. We're back over here. Ooh, these 6966s are on the exam, so be very careful. 61 just has the foot plate drill. So did we have a graft or, not a graft, but a implant? Did we have an implant? And we did. We had an implant. So you just need to know whether you had an implant or not. We did, so we know we can get rid of 2 of those answers. Then it's just to decide whether if you have 1 diagnosis or 2 diagnoses. She has this. Is that 1 or 2 diagnoses? Yeah, it's probably diagnosis driven, yeah. You can't just have like hypertension or diabetes. You gotta show, they gotta have it for something dire. This one is D, just 1 diagnosis. We got all 6s, all 7s, all 1s, but we have 3 of them that have 0s in them, and then the 7 and 8 are the closest. So I'd start out with those 2. 671. Six, 7, 1, 07, and 08. Mama is 7, child is 08. It comes with the V word. Did we do the V word? Are we under the right header, under repair of a retina and the other thing? Or do we need to move to a different area? What did we do today? We are right there. So we might be in the right position. Did we do the V thing? There's our V thing. Word matching is a thing. What do you guys think the answer is? Christine got that last membership I gave away. I hope that is super helpful for you. Yep. C is the answer. What do we think we got going on here? We've got two of them with the same answer, and then these two start out with the same answer. So we need to go look up our differences between these two CPT codes. 69421, 694. 69421. Ooh, these are on the exam too. 641212436 and 33 have all been reported on the exam. So our 2-1 is my ring. Oops, did I write that on the wrong one? I did. 2-1 is my ring. 3 6s are timpans. What did we do today? Timpan. So we know we're going to get rid of A and D. And it's just a difference between these two diagnoses. Would we have 6 digits or would we have 5? I love counting. Yep, just a difference in those diagnoses. And whatever the correct diagnosis is for this, one of the best things to do is go on and write here on the top of this CPT book, on the top of this page, what's the diagnosis you use, because, you know, it saves you from having to open up another book if you've got this diagnosis right here beside the CPT codes that are on the exam. And the difference is this mucoid. Yeah. It's not just otitis media, it's that particular type of otitis media. And it is B. Just writing a couple of these up here is super helpful. Yep. All right, we've got, let's see. Well, none of them are really close. Maybe the 10 and the 03. But it's intriguing that this is the 30 is flipped. It's the same numbers as this, but they're just flipped around. So it's kind of interesting. What is going on with 65103? So under eyeball, removal of eyeball. Ten is under removal of eyeball too. The 93 is also under the removal of eyeball. And the 130 is under the header of secondary implant procedure. The rest of these are under removal. That's secondary implant. What did we do today? We did do an implant. But 03 includes an implant. And 93 includes an implant. I don't think 10 includes an implant. Which one do you think is the correct answer? Yeah. What's another word for inclination? No, I won't be able to say it. But when they're removing those contents of the back of the chamber of the eyeballs, yeah. They're just using a spoon, right, to remove contents. And our 5130 is under secondary, and it doesn't have that in it. But these two, the 93 has evisceration versus the enucleation. So knowing the differences between those two particular mother codes, the 91 and the 01, super helpful. Yep, C is it. Perfect. What about this one? We've got two of them have the 88 with an extra code, and one of them has, no, two of them have 85 with the extra code. So we just need to know what our differences are between those two groups first, and then we'll figure out whether we have one or two codes. Yeah, that's a favorite question of one of the exams. It comes up quite often. Yeah. Be sure and get it written in your books for an example. It will more than likely be on your exam. 4, 5, 3, 85 and 88. Both are child codes, but since they're both under the same child code, not that big of a deal. One of them's removal of a tumor, One of them is also a removal of a tumor, but they use ablation. One of them is snare techniques. They kind of snaggle it and grab it. And then one of them is like electric or cold. We can get rid of the ablation, right? Because we used and then did we do anything else? Would we have done the 80 with it? Did we do the biopsies? We did random biopsies. And we used the forceps. Yep. Now, a lot of procedures automatically include biopsies. A lot of time with any scopes that they can come around and do random biopsies with some of the scopes. But this particular one, if you're going to do biopsies, you get to add those because we're not doing the biopsies. Just in the beginning of the scope, we ended up doing them all the way down the scope. So, yeah, definitely have that snare technique. And we got to bill for additional biopsies all the way down. Just be careful. We don't normally get to add the biopsies to a lot of the answers. It's just included in a lot of scopes, but for some reason we get to bill this one. All right, are we doing the 3-5s or the teens? What are we under? 3-3-5. Three, 5, 10 under endoscopies, venous graft, coronary, or are we doing the 3-3-5 3-3s? Are we doing arterial grafting? Is our graft venous with these, or is our graft arterial with these? Just knowing whether you're using arteries or veins is half your issue with these. It says artery graft, so easy peasy. We know we're going to get rid of C and D. Now it's just a difference of, do we have 2 CPT codes or 1? I would think long and hard before I added another CPT code, because most of the time the answer is just one. What's our differences between our 3-3 and 3-5? Three, 3 is single artery graft, where our 3-5 has 3 artery grafts. How many did we do? We did 3. So we know A is our answer, even without looking up that code. This one does single, this one does 3. Yep. Not bad. Just take it one step at a time. All right. What about these? We've got 3 answers that start off with the same code. What is our 92928? It is percutaneous catheter intracoronary stents. What did we do today? We got informed consent. We did IVUS, intravenous. So if we're doing the whole thing intravenously, then that means we're under the skin, right? Percutaneously, so pretty cool. Our 24 is coronary arthroectomy, where 28 is intracoronary stent. And we already saw that this looks like we were going to be doing stents. And we are coronary artery. We are not angio and angioplasty and arthroectomy. So keep us at the 28s. Are we a 78 or a 29? Would we use a 51 modifier on these codes or not? Which is a multiple procedure code. Would we have 3 CPT codes versus 2? We have the same answer for A and C. The only difference is modifiers. Whether we have them or not. The IVUS is our 78 code. Does it need a modifier marking the right coronary or whatever it's doing? Or would we have it by itself? They sure do have a lot of verbiage in this one. But most of this is just propaganda anyway. So what we did was coronary intervention with some drugs, place some stents along the right coronary artery. Yep. Knowing that all these modifiers are wrong and you only have one of them with the correct setup is super helpful too. You can pretty much pick that out by just looking at the answers. Yep, yep. Guideline IC9A2 and IC9A3, cause and effect. Which one does not require documentation? Is it hemorrhage, hypertension, or its cause and effect is always documented? I think this question was on MK's, one of her exams. What do you guys think? Y'all still there? Still awake? Who wants to win a YouTube membership? Chat in the box. Maybe you'll win. Lori. Congratulations, Lori. If you look at your ICD-10 guidelines, there is some cause and effect relationships that do not need to be documented. Like, you know you're going to get kidney disease eventually if you leave your hypertension to go forever. You're going to end up with it. So we don't have to link it every single time because we know it was caused by that particular disease. So if you leave your hypertension untreated forever, your husband or whoever doesn't take their high blood pressure pills every day, they will destroy their kidneys and end up in renal failure for sure. And no one wants to go out that way. Not being able to go potty by yourself is not fun. So we don't have to connect those two all the time. It's just presumed. What is an acute exacerbation of asthma or COPD? In our guideline IC10A1. Is that supposed to be uncomplicated asthma or COPD? Is it worsening? Is it an infection or a condition? Yay, Samantha. Awesome. No worries. You're welcome. Go to bed. I know it's late. It's 8, 10. It's 10 o'clock for a lot of people, I think. You get all the replays, so you're going to be able to watch these. Don't worry. Yep, we've got worsening symptoms. Perfect. Good. ICD-10. Are we in the R's for symptoms, or are we going to be in the K's? What does K have? We are in the digestive system. This patient, ultrasound discovered gallstones. So we definitely have an inflammation of the gallbladder. So we do have diagnosis. So we don't have to do symptoms, right? So we can get rid of our A. Now we just need to know, do we need 2 diagnoses or 1 for a gallstones and an inflammation of a gallbladder? What do you guys think? Average duration of the live is 23 minutes. People can hang for 23 minutes. And then they come back later and watch it later. That's funny. Thank you for the 28 likes on today's live. I hope it was super helpful. For sure. Padme must be rewound and watching stuff that was previous. Thanks, Go-Kart. Be back tomorrow night on TikTok to watch me do some more E&M book prep for the 2024 E&M section. We had a fun night last night. We did 4 hours last night. It was crazy. I've still got to post that onto YouTube. This one is just one diagnosis that covers both. A lot of times, a lot of diagnoses are combos. And we do have a guideline to reference for this one at IB9. Really good idea to write that particular one out in your ICD-10 book and your CPT book near the gallbladder removal surgeries. That way you don't have to look it up later. You will get an HIV one on your exam. I don't know why this is all in caps, but I didn't mean for it to be all in caps, but it is. According to the guideline IC1A 2B, if we have a patient who's in the hospital for an open fracture of their leg with HIV symptoms, how are we coding this? What goes first? Does the fractured leg go first with an injury code, or does the HIV go first? Oh, I'm sure they have, April, but there isn't many differences in the E&M section. There's no new codes. What they have done is updated the times to not be a range anymore. It's just this time or more. So they didn't do much difference, but yes, I'm sure they've updated the exam to meet the E&M current stuff that's going on. I posted on YouTube and inside Discord the new times for each of the E&M CPT codes so that you guys can update that on your own. Or, you know, you can buy the notes that change your 2023 CPT book into a 2024 if you want the whole book, but I did post the E&M new times for you in the Discord group under CPT resources room. Good job, JJ. Yep, what got them off the couch and in the door today was that broken leg. They wouldn't be in the ER either, you know, for any other reason other than that broken leg, right? So we know broken leg goes first. Then you're going to do your HIV. So you could do this question really fast without opening your ICD-10 book. Perfect. All right, we've got diseases of the blood, kidney stuff, symptoms, more kidney stuff. What would go first here according to ICD guideline IC1D1B for a patient in acute renal failure due to sepsis? Do I add all of these to all my... The entire set of these are all documented at each individual code. I'll go to the R65s and have these examples written. I have these examples written in again at the N17 area, and then I have them written in, of course, at the A41 area. That way, no matter where I land during the middle of an exam, I'll find the correct answer for this one. They've been admitted to ICU for acute renal failure due to sepsis with an unknown organism. Number one guideline is always that R65 will never be your very first diagnosis code. Knowing that is super helpful. So you know you can get rid of C because that's a coding irregularity. R65 is never a first diagnosis, ever, ever. Nope, nope, never, never. So number one, you can get rid of C. And then the rest you're on your own. Do we do kidney first, or do we do the sepsis first? We do the sepsis because it's due to. Very good. Good guy. Good job. Good job. But you can see how they had two answers with the kidney stuff first. So they were trying to push you to pick the kidney stuff first. But the sepsis goes first. Just a different writing of this question. I've seen many versions, but this one's a newer version of this question. If we're referencing the guideline IC9E1, how do we code if an ST elevation in a heart attack converts to a non-ST elevation heart attack during the course of from a blood clot therapy is what's going on. Do we sequence STEMI first or in STEMI, or do we code only STEMI or code only in ST? Yep, even if it's acute. Acute will heal itself and go away, so it's not that big of a deal. So the kidney stuff goes to the back. Sepsis is the true diagnosis for that one. For sure. Yep, this one's C, code only STEMI. Remember, no matter how the question is written, if it starts out with ST or STEMI first, the answer will always be STEMI. What information is needed in order to accurately code hypertension retinopathy? We've got affected eyes, stage, hypertension, or which side of the heart is affected. Let me check on my kids. They just got in the door. Fuss at one of them for not even doing their chores yesterday. And I'm sure they're not doing them today. All right. STEMI is always STEMI. You're welcome. What do we think about this one? I don't think we have to worry about the side of the heart that's affected. That seems really weird. Everybody says the eyes. Yep, which eye is affected? Perfect. Laterality, which one are we doing? Are we? These two sixes are closer than the other ones. Let's go look. 3, 3, 4. Three, 3, 4. Ooh, taking me forever to get to the codes. 3, 3, 4, 6, 4, and 6, 8. Six four's child code, can't do much with it, but 6, 3 is a valvoplasty. 6, 8 is a tricuspid. These two are under the header of tricuspid. The 2, 6, and 30 are under what header? Mitral valve. What did we do? We did mitral valve. So we're probably not even doing these, right? So we got to go do these. See how that header before descriptors can help you out a whole bunch? Do you see the black headers that are listed before each set of codes? Tricuspid valve is from 33460 to 33468, where mitral valve is from 33418 to 33430. Just knowing to clear those headers gets you to get rid of two answers right away. Then you can just see which one you did. 26 includes a ring, and 30 is a replacement. Good job. B is correct. Sorry, my kid's making so much noise. Be sure and turn that box back the way it was. Thank you, thank you. All right, we've got the 15 twice, just a modifier difference, and then we have the 16 twice. Then it's a difference between 3 codes or 2 codes. Let's go look them up and see what our differences are. 930. 930. 16 is supervision only without the interpretation report. We do have an interpretation done, so no matter what, we know we did that, so we know we can't code C and D because 16 says no reports. So we know it's going to be one of these. Do we need the 26 modifier or not? Oh, y'all are dropping like flies, huh? I know it's getting late and y'all gotta work tomorrow. I do too. Do I have the right thing down here? I have 18. I don't know why I have that down. For the 16-18 rationale, because the study was performed in the hospital, physician bills the professional services. Look at your CPT codes. Let's see. We got to bill the 16 without the supervision and report only, and then we added in the 18 because that includes the report. We did this is because the test was done at the hospital. Tricky little devil. Only the physician can bill physician services. We were not billing for the physician, we were billing for the facility. So if a hospital needs to bill for their cardiac stress test to be done, they're going to bill for the physician to supervise, because normally the techs run these stress tests at the hospital. You know, it's not a physician behind the machine, but we do have a physician supervising this patient. So because it was in the hospital, we do get to bill D. That's a good one. I would have totally gotten it wrong on the exam. This one is a COC question probably for hospital facility codes, and they get super crazy tricky with whether you're billing for a hospital or billing for a physician. So, insane. You had this one as a test question for your CPC. So, if they put the words physician supervises in the question, you're going to know that you're going to be billing for the 3016. If you see those key terms with the word hospital, you're going to be billing that. Then you have to bill your interpretation separately with your 18. Just one of those questions I would get wrong constantly too. And it's crazy, the 15 has the supervision in it and the interpretation report in it also. So it's just very crazy. I believe the 15 is the one that is done in a doctor's office. So a cardiologist has the stress machine in their own office, and they're doing the stress test in the cardiology's office. But if they're off facility at the hospital getting the test done, then we're going to be at 16, 17, and 18. I think that's what's going on. It's a good question. I should present that one more. Let me add this one to our document of what's been on the exam too, that I do not have. I'll open what? Yep. And let me add this down here to the bottom of this document. Cool. And where am I at? Which document am I here with? Yep. Okay. There we go. Save that one. Catheters. Are we in the 4-5s or in the 00s? See, we got 2 CPTs and a radiology. This one's got 2 CPTs and 2 radiologies. 2 CPTs and 1 radiology, 1 CPT and 2 radiologies. I like to count. Iliac, we're all leg here, right? 36245. 36200 is just an introduction of a catheter. It's non-selective. Are we selective with the 36245? Is that what that is? 36245 is under selective because mama is 36245. Yep, selective. Did we do selective or not? Hey, Julie, no worries. We're placing it at the level of the renal arteries. So all these are your selective catheterization. That means you stick it in one area just to travel to another area. If we're sticking the catheter in where we're going to be at and work in, then you don't need to do a selective. So you guys are correct in the D. Perfect. Good job. Here's the next one. Is that 2? No, that's 1. Let's see, back on that other question, y'all keep asking more questions about. In my notes from the last time I wrote them out, I've got that 16 and 26 are professional components, where 17 is TC, means it's technical component, meaning this is hospital only. And that I've got 15 is total stressing all 3 components. We're doing the monitoring, supervision, and interpretation all in one place. You can't use the 93016 and 18 with the 15. It includes your supervision and interpretation. The 16 is only the supervision, but you can add interpretation to it by adding the 93018, and it's professional components only, meaning you're only billing for the supervision and the interpretation. You're not billing for anything else. $17 is a technical component only, and then 18 is a professional component. But I don't know, maybe that will help with those particular codes. You get it written out like that. Maybe it will help you if you see that question on the exam, not to get it wrong. And maybe that will help. Okay. Back to the one we're doing right now. We're looking for those selective 45s or a 52. Three, 6, 2, 45, again, selective. 52 is selective also, but what's our differences between the 45 and the 51, because that's the parent? Are we doing arterial system, or are we doing the first order of a main renal artery? We do have renal artery noted. The 45 is pelvic and lower extremity artery branch. 51 is renal. Because the study was done at the hospital for that previous example, the physician bills for only their professional components. That's it. We're not billing for the cardiac test at the hospital. We're only billing for the physician who supervised and interprets the test. So that's all you're asked to code for in that previous example. We're not billing for the hospital, only billing for the physician. Does that help? The question wasn't 100% like totally clear. This one is C. We're definitely going to be there in the one that has the renal. And we only had the one answer that was renal. These were all abdomen. So the only one that was different was this one with the renal. But that previous question right here, it really doesn't make it very clear in the last sentence. It says, what's the CPT codes are reported? A patient presents for a cardiac stress test at the hospital. The same physician supervises the test, interprets the study, and documents the official report. What CPT codes are reported? It's a very poorly written question. It doesn't clarify, am I billing for the hospital or am I billing for the physician? It doesn't tell you. So, it's left to you to guess. This is what the physician did, and this is what was done to the patient altogether. Right? The facility would probably bill none of these. So if you look at it from how would you bill it for both entities, you only find one correct answer. Because if I was going to bill this for the hospital, I can't bill for the interpretation, I actually can't bill what I was thinking was the correct answer. Let me get back here to the codes. I'm not there. 930 what? 930 930 still way off. 93015. You can't bill that because it's a combo of you owning the equipment and doing all of it all together. And hospitals don't own physicians. They bill for their services separate when they work for a hospital. So you can't do this. Now, if the cardiac stress test was done at the doctor's office, that's the only time you use the 15 code. So the tracing of the test, right, is the technical component. And this is what the hospital could have billed for this example. Because the doc is going to bill for his supervision and his interpretation. The hospital can only bill that. So if you looked at the question and you didn't know if you were billing for the hospital or for the physician side, you would know that there's no correct answer for just the hospital to bill. The only one that has a correct answer here is just for the physician to do the interpretation and the supervision. You worked at the hospital for 10 years. Figured it out. It says same physician, and since it was done at the hospital. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Same physician. I still think they could have done a better job at asking you, okay, or how do we bill the professional side of this, or how do we bill for the facility side? It's still not clear, you know? But anyway. I think it's intentionally ambiguous like it is, just so you would get the wrong answer, for sure. What about this anatomy term? The conduction system contains pacemaker cells, nodes, and blank and blank. Yep. Three, 6, 2, 5, 1. This one right here, yeah. It's simply because we're renal. Right here, renal. These are abdominal. For A, B, and D, they're all abdominal. All you had to do was find your renal and match it with C, and you know your answer is C. This anatomy one, thank you for the 31 likes on the live. Y'all are doing so good. Whoops. Did I close my... There we go for today. Yep, A is correct. Good job. What is the term for the divider between the heart chamber walls? This one was on somebody's exam too. Yeah, it seems very inefficient to bill for the supervision and bill for the interpretation separately. The way those codes are written, I'd love to get an encoder and see if there's more of a description between those codes or not. I have to update my computer. There's a new update needed for Windows, and my system is just not logging on to anything right now. So I got to reboot. Thank you, Go-Kart. I'll bring back that question on Thursday, and maybe we can have some more info and on Yasmin's sleep studies. We'll work on those too. Tomorrow we'll be on TikTok. We'll do some E&M stuff. Yep, septum, good job. Which main coronary artery bifurcates into two smaller ones? Is it the right, left, inverted, or superficial? Left. Good job. Radiology. We did a lot of radiology on the workshop on Sunday. We've got 2 of them with the 53 and 2 with the 51. Let's go see what our differences are. 7, 8. Ooh, I'm going the wrong way. 7, 8. 7, 8, 4, 5, 3. And 5, 1. They both start out with the same wording. Do you have your one-word differences written down? Which one do you think is the correct answer? 6:30, same time. Right now it is 8:43, so I would start tomorrow night again at the same time around 6:30. And we're going to do 2024 E&M book prep. Yep, we're going to be in the 51s. Would you use one CPT code or would you use 2? 99% of the time, it's just one code. Yep. We've got 2 of them that start off with the same code. Let's go see what's going on with that 33-2. Y'all getting tired yet? 33-44. 33-44. That's a child code. We got to look at mama, which is 43, which is a removal. Are we in anything that is a removal? Are we in this area? What? You're using Optum books. Still awake. Good job, JJ. Hey, Jen, I took my first practice aapc exam tonight and I did not do too well. And I test in 20 days. I feel discouraged. Please advise. Utilize those practice questions often. Don't wait till right before your exam and then decide to take them. They're meant for you to be working in the whole time you're prepping for your exams. Go through each one of the questions, find out why exactly each individual CPT code is wrong answer and why they are correct. Find out if you cleared your headers before your descriptors. If you're only looking at the individual codes and trying to figure out what your answer is, you're doing it wrong. Be sure to look at headers. We have black word headers, and before that we have even blue headers, and before that we'll have red headers. So everything underneath this red header is going to be dealing with the heart and pericardium, everything, until you see another red heart header. Then you have blue. Blue means all the codes are pericardium. Then we move on to pacemakers and defibrillator, but we're still under the heart and pericardium with all these codes. And then we'll have many headers of implanted pacemakers. So make sure you're under the correct thing. Or if you've gone on and moved to nerve stimulator systems, did you do a nerve stimulation, or are you under a pacemaker? Clear these blue and red headers before you even worry about whether you are at the correct CPT code. That will help out more than anything. A lot of things like in the digestive or urinary system, all these codes in the urinary system, right here, this whole section is only dealing with kidneys until you get to another red header. Do you not move to ureter procedures? All these pages are all kidneys. So if your question isn't doing a kidney question or dealing with the kidneys, then you know any codes in these pages are no good, and you can throw away those answers that are dealing with any of these codes. If you were dealing with a ureter or ureter repair, then you know you're under here. You just have to find out, are you doing a biopsy? Are you doing an introduction like a catheter? Are you repairing it? What are you doing today? Clear your blue and red headers before you do anything else. Don't try to do the questions from code to code. That won't work. You're welcome. So look at the exam again, try to take it again, and practice looking at the red and blue headers that happen before any of the answers. See if that helps. Did y'all get to see that? Did I have the video on? I can't remember if it was working or not. B is the correct answer for that one. Good job. And don't worry, you don't have to sit there and do all 50 questions before you hit the grade button. You can do, the first 5 and hit grade and see if you got it right. No one's going to keep track. You can repeat those exams multiple times over and over again. It's good practice to do all 50, of course, but it's late, and if you want micro rewards, do 5, hit grade, see if you got those right. Because if your technique is still not working right, you have time to adjust instead of doing all 50 and you still don't have a technique right that's helping you get the correct answers. So try 5 with the new technique. Make sure you're doing the headers before the descriptors. See if that helps. Thank y'all for all the hearts and the loves and the thank yous. The only thing that I like is that AAPC's versions of their ICD-10 and HitPix book is that they have information in here that they may quiz you on, that they put in here. that's not available in any of the other books, like their decision tree for abuse, dependence, and use. No other book will have it in there. They also have other decision trees and things that no one else has that they could quiz you on. So, and of course, the HitPix book has so much other stuff, like your payment indicators. Of course, it's got all your general coding policies and that's inside your HitPix that isn't located anywhere else. It has your payment indicators. It also has those 100 publications from CMS that tells you what the guidelines are for multiple things, from just anything. There's a ton of stuff back here that they could quiz you on. That's not available in other, there's your status indicators, your type of service indicators. They have all kinds of stuff in here. Their HitPix book is 800 pages thick with tons of stuff in it. And I like how they have all the modifiers listed in cheat sheets in the front and back covers. And they're organized by categories. That helps you out a whole bunch. Like, these are only all the modifiers for the anesthesia section. These are all the ambulatory modifiers. And then they have every single one of them listed with a little cheat sheet, which is helpful. But, you know, it just helps because it's part of their certification and they have it set up for their certifications. So, but if you're taking a CCS or ahima, you know, whatever. But lots of people pass with Optum books, of course. Pick line. Anybody got the pick port with fluoroscope? SC. Perfect. You can find them on Google or Amazon with free shipping. Don't pay for AAPC to ship you their books at $25 per book. It's way too expensive. $75 just to ship you books when everybody else does not charge shipping. There's a bookstore called Book Run that usually has really good online prices with free shipping of all of the books, including AAPC versions. So just keep searching around until you find something. Last question for the night, and this one's often been on the exam, is about the differences between these two eye conditions. What do you think the answer is? That question was on the practice last night, was it? Inward and outward. Yep, you just got to know which one is which. A is correct. Good job, guys. I hope this is helpful. I'll be on TikTok tomorrow night, and then Thursday we'll be back here again with some more practice questions. I hope this has been super helpful. I will see you guys later. And keep up with your questions. I love seeing all the comments and stuff on the YouTube channel. And I saw 3 people on TikTok last night that all passed their certification exams this month. So The exam seems to be going quite well. Doesn't seem anybody's having too much trouble. There's no fill in the blanks yet, so nothing to worry about there. You can use your 2023 books right now, no matter what. Whether you're doing ahima or aapc, it's fine. We don't have a lot of new codes in all the sections from 2023 to 2024. Very few. You don't even get any new ones until you're in the musculoskeletal section. So it's just 4 new codes there. 2 in respiratory, 8 in cardio, 1 in urinary, 1 in female, 3 in nervouses, only 1 in eye, and 6 in radiology. Lab and Path and Medicine have a lot of monkeypox and COVID stuff that inflate these new codes, but we do have some new codes in those sections. Been getting some thank you notes in the mail. I love seeing those. Awesome. If you're taking a ahima exam, you cannot have a 2023 book after May 1st of 2024. So CCA and CCS people will need to get 2024 books after May 1st, but AAPC can keep your 2023 books until December 31st of 2024. So we're okay there. So anyway, that's the biggest updates, and I hope this was super helpful. I'll see you guys tomorrow night on TikTok. I love y'all. And what else is going on in chat? What's going on? Good night, Zena. Good night, Christy, Mabel. I hope everybody that won YouTube subscriptions enjoy the heck out of those, and they help out a whole bunch. Yes, you can replay this from the very beginning. Absolutely. And would you advise to update the 2023 books with the new 2024 codes, even though it's not a lot? Yeah, I sure would. You never know. It's just a few tiny little codes. Some of the ICD-10 ones might be important. Those seem like they're a little bit more important. The headache codes and stuff seem pretty important. 6:30 on TikTok. Yeah, even if you don't buy the new books, I really do recommend updating your books and just put the codes in. It's super easy to do. You can research and find the new codes already posted on AAPC's website. They do lots of blogs. They've already listed out what all the new codes are yourself, and you can gather them and you can write them in yourself, or you can just purchase my little document if you want to, because I gathered them all for you and put them in one location, but I didn't do anything superhuman. You know, you guys can go find them too. They're published out there, open and freely everywhere. So I just show you how I did it, how I made room, where I put them, and that kind of stuff. So up to you guys, totally up to you guys. I love y'all. Can you take bar and move it back? Take what bar and move? Can you take bar and move it back? I don't know what that means. Do you need me to turn off the camera and move it back to the question? That? All right, guys. I love y'all. Good night. I will see y'all tomorrow.